The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And that'll set them back 5. Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try the air now with Lauletta. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, here's Lauletta. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And the sack parade continues. Remember last week, they had an astounding 8 sacks, another one there on the opening drive.
And they have the mentality of just attacking the quarterback in the pocket, no matter what. They're one of those teams that says, we play the run on our way back to the quarterback. And that philosophy works for them very well.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big play there for Detroit, and even 40 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it works for big yardage.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Looking to throw. That's caught right side by Anderson. Touchdown, Detroit! Robbie Anderson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Lucky 56.
3rd and 2, Lauletta. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on 3rd down, Loretta. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's the Raiders punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
They'll drop the throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On play action, they'll throw. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. He'll drop to throw. That one complete to Anderson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
No. Check. Patriot.
Second half beginning with a run from Fournette. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Again, it's Fournette. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Hall. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Throw left side, complete. That's Hall. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And they'll indeed take a knee. And this Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. And they take a knee. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. And they will take a knee here. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go. 190. 190.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Lauletta looking to throw on second down. His throw incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Lauletta. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Sean Robinson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Here's the Raiders punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that. I
think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there? You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game. What year was that? 1978. I think it was in November. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada.
A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Detroit, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it just keeps getting worse as they're going to fall to 1-14. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.